So Banaba has proven that it is one of the very effective medicine. It is also used in Indian Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. So it is something that has definitely folk medicine which has used. It's very interesting that it has not come down to be recognized very commonly. I am aware of some people doing research on gorossolic acid, which is a substance which is exactly like insulin as a weight loss remedy. So I won't be surprised the pharmaceutical company with an expensive pill, magic pill, which will contain this one. But I have a news for them that you can probably treat the same medicine for $5 to $10 a month, and you don't need to worry about it. So Banama is going to be around us, and it doesn't have any side effects. I personally used it, and I've used personally in many patients, and our number of patients we have used is more than 50 currently. And we think that if someone wants to start, number one medicine for diabetes, start with Banaba, but there is other medication. It also has a large amount of zinc and magnesium, which may explain its good effects on neuropathy. So if you're looking for one good overall medicine for diabetes, Banaba is very excellent in many ways. So let's go back to the other medications that have been herbal medicine which has been used for a long time. India is famous for diabetes because the first description of diabetes comes from India almost 2,000 years. It was a common observation that people who are diabetics, when they urinate on the roadside, all the ants come there. And it was a very common, it's a very simple observation that why these ants are coming down to the urine of a certain person and not others. And it was sure that there was a sugar. So it's an interesting way of looking at it. So diabetes has been known for a long time, often called as a disease which has a sweet urine. And they had 2,000 years to figure out what kind of herbal medicine are useful. So I'm aware at least 20 herbal medicine from Indian pharmacopoeia which are useful. So let's go a few of them which we have more direct experience. Number one is a bitter melon. Bitter melon is a very interesting fruit and a vegetables, and there is something in it which is called lectin, which helps the absorption of glucose in the body. It is one food, you can eat it, anything along with another dish. So bitter melon could be like a squash if it's done properly, it is no more a bitter. And if you eat a small amount of bitter melon as a powder or as a food, along with other food, it is one of those things which will correct the sugar. And it's quite popular in India, and also bitter melon is popular in Philippines as a treatment for blood sugar problems. So that is also comes in the top 5 or 10 herbal medicines. We're going to talk mostly the top 5 or 10 herbal medicine which are popular, have no side effects, and known for centuries that they have some useful function in carbohydrate metabolism. Any of these things also, any of these medications also are useful for obesity. So if you can fix something with the diabetic problem, you're also helping the carbohydrate metabolism, and most of these things are also useful in weight loss programs. So that is very interesting, and nobody has really tried to explore that. Yes, it helps diabetes, but it also addresses some of the main other issues. So at the same time, cholesterol is a problem, digestion is a problem, and other things, they could be helpful. Now, one of the surprising things is the dandelion, which has been around. There are almost 1,000 species of dandelion around the world. There's almost 1,000 different kinds of dandelion. And we know the dandelion is effective to lower blood pressure. It's a diuretic, but it contains a bitter substance which stimulates the pancreatic secretions. So it affects us indirectly. It is not directly lowers the blood sugar. It works through a very complex mechanism. It has a bitter substance in it which stimulates the gallbladder, the liver, and the pancreas to act more efficiently. So it is known to have lowers the blood sugar. So I would suggest that if we can add dandelion, whether we can use as a solid and stop mowing our lawns and use this right now from the lawn. And it's not unusual. It will control our sugar, diabetes, as well cholesterol and blood pressure. So all these things look like they have a common denominator. They have something common that if it helps one area, it is helping the other area. So bring dandelion. It's very unusual to prescribe dandelion in American medicine, that it is useful for diabetes. It is useful. So, but I won't use it primarily. I would use it with other medications. So French lilac, this is known since the 11th or 12th centuries in France, and has been used in European folk medicine as a treatment for diabetes. And interestingly, the medicine called metformin or glucophage is derived from this medicine. So you have things in the folk medicine being used for 500 or 800 years. And if we look very hard, those are the sources of our new medicine. So French lilac is the actual source of our metformin. It works, so is the French lilac works. Turmeric has some function. It has some effect. Turmeric is an overall a beautiful herb, medicine. It helps the healing. It's the antibiotic. It's #1 medicine for arthritis, osteoarthritis. It decreases the incidence of Alzheimer's disease. People who have Alzheimer's disease, it is very useful. It also decreases the incidence of polyps. If someone has an increased incidence of cancer or colon in their families, turmeric will be something you can use as a prophylactic. Gymnema, we do have personal experience. Gymnema leaves are very interesting. If you have a small amount of gymnema powder on your tongue, and for the next 2 hours, you don't feel like eating any sweet thing. It's a very psychedelic experience because anything which is sweet will taste terrible. So that was a very interesting thing for us to find out that if we can use a very small, tiny amount of gymnema leaf powder and put it on your tongue, and if you like candy and sugars and soda pop, you won't drink anything for 2 hours. So if you do 2-3 times a day, your carbohydrates intake will be less, you're going to lose weight. So it is primarily, you can lose weight, especially if you eat a lot of sugary stuff, but also it controls the insulin and diabetic situation. So it is a popular medicine in India as a remedy for diabetes. Bael is another medicinal herbs from India, which is used. We don't have much common. We don't have much experience directly because of the type of medicine not easily available in common herbal stores. Amla is the same thing. It's been all used for a long time. And of course, these are some rather peculiar Ayurvedic medicines which are not available many places in the Western countries. Fenugreek, we have used it directly. It definitely works. The only thing is you need large amount of it. You need 8 capsules of fenugreek every day to help. Fenugreek has a direct insulin-like effect. It is not like the other herbal medicine. There's something in the fenugreek which works almost like similar to insulin. So I would use fenugreek in any cases where nothing else works. And the only thing is that something that produces a lot of air and flatus or anything, people may be slightly disturbed with that. But fenugreek is an excellent medicine for diabetes. Yes. Cinnamon is become more popular for the last 10 years, and we have a lot of patients who used to take like 10 units of insulin or borderline diabetics. Basically, if you're taking 10 units of insulin or you're on some kind of a medicine for your diabetes, it is so effective that people who are using those low doses of insulin, they could be off the insulin completely. It can drop up to 50 units of 50 milligrams of sugar. So suppose your sugar is about 200. And with the use of cinnamon, it can be up to 150. You can treat many cases of diabetes with simple cinnamon capsules. We recommend you take 2 to 3 maximum capsules of cinnamon. There are some side effects which are not appreciated in the literature. We have used cinnamon for 2 to 3 decades, so we are very aware of it. If someone is taking ACE inhibitors, which is a blood pressure medicine, cinnamon has interaction, their blood pressure will go up. So people who have very high blood pressure should be very careful for use of cinnamon. Number two, cinnamon should not be eaten or taken late at night because it will keep you awake. It is something which activates the reticle activating system, and it keeps you awake at night. So we use the side effects of this cinnamon for people who travel long distances and they want to keep awake and they want a natural remedy to keep them alert and oriented. Cinnamon capsule is wonderful. So cinnamon is a very good medicine for control of diabetes. Now, on those patients who love cinnamon but they cannot use because of the side effects, my suggestion is to use cardamom. We have used cardamom also for more than 10 years. It is completely unknown in the United States or in the Western society that cardamom tincture is as effective as cinnamon for control of diabetes. We have several patients who have taken for years, and it controls the blood sugar similar to the cinnamon. The third one, which comes from Middle East, not from China or Far East, is the cumin, which is mostly used in U.S. in Mexican foods. Cumin is another one which will control your blood sugar. So you have cinnamon, you have a cardamom, you have a cumin. Now, there's no one makes in the United States cumin capsule. This is very spicy. A lot of people cannot take it. So either you individually make capsules for cumin or try to tough it out with the food actually. But it is an effective medicine for control of blood sugar. Let's go to the few other things. There's some other rare one we don't have a direct experience, but these are popular in India, some part of it, in the quinoa trees. Ginseng has some effects. It lowers your blood sugar, but it's not an effective remedy for diabetes. So it may help in certain cases, but I would not recommend as a frontline herbal medicine for diabetes. It is overall will decrease the blood sugar, so you be aware of it, that if you have a borderline blood sugar, it may drop because you're using ginseng. Opuntia is one of those thorn leaf, it's a vegetable or fruit you can call it, and it is something that people have not appreciated, that it's good for weight loss, and it also controls controls your blood sugar. You have to take the spiny portion off, and it's like really sticky substance underneath it, and slice it, and small doses of it is effective for treatment of diabetes. This is another one, Salicia oblonga. It's one of the old medicine for herbal medicine. We have no experience actually in the United States with that. Very little written about it, but it is an effective medicine. Blackberries and blueberries are two things which, if you take regularly, will help you control blood sugar. So all these things, simultaneously, not only control your blood sugar, but also control your weight. When you control the weight, you lose weight, your sugar also comes back to normal. And in many cases, we found out it controls the cholesterol level, it controls the blood pressure, it's a mild diuretic. So it's very interesting that the herbal medicine has that magic quality that one pill, one herb can treat so many diseases. In the other conventional medicine, if you're a diabetic, if you look at their medicine box, it looks like a pharmacy. They have 10 different kinds of medicine for 10 different problems. Many of these herbal medicine, one will be enough for many of those things. So I will conclude today's brief talk on diabetes at the moment.
Okay. Anyone that's out there watching through Periscope, let us know where you're at. Let us know where you're watching from. So they're actually, so right now we've got quite a few that are watching. Yep, they're watching.